Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 14 Vegas spread picks. Let's get this money. Week 13 was average 2-2 on YouTube, 2-2 on Patreon. Let's get back to this money. First game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Tennessee Titans. Jags are plus 3.5. I'm going Jags to cover, Titans to win. Last week, Joe Public was telling us that the Jags are going to beat the living hell out of Detroit. Detroit doesn't stand a chance. We were with Detroit. Obviously, we knew the Jags more. But I know the Jags. I know the way to attack them. You have to attack their pass defense. And I just don't think the Titans' offense is the team to do it. I don't see Tannehill going out and slanging for 280 or 300. And this Jags run defense, they've been up and down this year, but I think they can play the run. 8 men in the box. I think they can contain D. Henry. On the other side of the ball, the main question is Lawrence's injury. It looks like he will play. I saw Dougie Peterson talking today saying Lawrence will be out there. I think Lawrence, there's just enough on offense. Jags cover, Titans win. If it moves up to +4, it might move to a money pick. Next game, we got the New York Jets, Mike White, at the Buffalo Bills. Jets are plus 9.5. Digging a trench here, Bills winning the cover. And listen, the Jets played good against my Vikings last week. Did they deserve the cover? I don't think so, but some of you guys thought that. But when I look at the Jets, I just look at Mike White, and I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of their offense. And if they can't run the ball, they're going to struggle. And one thing that everyone seems to forget is this Bills defense the last 2 weeks, they're getting healthier. They're getting a little bit better. I just don't see Mike White moving the ball consistently. I don't see the Jets getting over 10, 13 points here. And we know this Jets defense is an absolute juggernaut, a tour de force in this damn league. But there's only so much you can do. And Josh Allen, he's going to make his 4 or 5 gigantic plays regardless of who's on the defense. I think the Bills win this 24-10. Bills cover. Jets have to wait another week. Next game, Thursday night football. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Rams. Raiders are minus 5.5. Money, money, money. Money. Raiders winning the cover. Borderline money pick. This is Thursday night. Everyone take a deep breath and act accordingly. Listen, I felt like the Seahawks would beat the living hell out of the Rams last week. Rams kept it close, but I don't think McVay has enough rabbits out of the hat to keep this one close. I think Jacobs has a big day. He's heating up at the right time. Now that the Raiders team has a little bit of confidence, a little bit of bravado, I think you'll start noticing it in the games. And we all know the weakness of this Raiders defense. You can throw it on them and you can throw it when you want. Are we betting John Wolford? Are we betting Allen Robinson? There's no Cooper Kupp. There's no Aaron Donald. I just don't see this Rams team being able to keep it close. And another thing that no one wants to talk about, this game will be in L.A. I mean, you can make a case that the Raiders are the biggest team in L.A. I think 70 to 80% of that stadium will be for the Raiders. I think the Raiders come out here. I think they fight. They're the more physical team. Give me the Raiders to win in the cover in a borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, Hurts, at the New York Giants. Giants are plus 7. I'm going Giants to cover, Eagles to win. And last week I had the Giants to cover, and I didn't give you guys a good reason why. I just said Daboll is able to move the ball. Daboll is able to keep these games close with Daniel Jones. How does he do it? I'm not really sure. Conventional wisdom says this should be the Eagles by 2 or 3 touchdowns. But with this Giants team, there is a little bit of magic. There is that Cinderella type vibe with them. There isn't a lot of science. Just think the Giants cover, Eagles win the game. I don't think the Eagles will be tested money line in this game if you wanted to do that. I think this is a good opportunity to tease the Eagles down, which we've been doing this year. Next game, we got my Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. Vikings are plus 1.5. We've picked Detroit the last 4 weeks money line, no matter what their spread was against. But I'm going against them this week. I'm going Vikings to win in the cover. I think this turns into a shootout. And I think it comes down to who has the better pass rush, who's going to disrupt the quarterback more. Give me Zadarius Smith. Give me Danielle Hunter if we're talking about that. The Lions are so impressive, man. And I've been saying all year, I think they're getting the best play calling on the offensive side in this league, and it showed against the Jags. You look at this Vikings team, they are starting to stall out a little bit. That defense is starting to get exposed. I'm not sure they can stop Detroit, but also I don't think Detroit can stop them. We saw what Jefferson did in the first meeting, and we have to be honest. One reason why the Vikings are not a money pick this game is because Aaron Glenn is getting better play out of that young defense. Detroit's defense has been a completely different unit this last 4 weeks than it was earlier in the year. Vikings to win in a cover on the road, a surprising upset. Finally Vegas is catching up to us betting the Lions. Vikings winning the cover on the road to Detroit. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ravens plus 3. Money, money, money. Money. Ravens to win in the cover with Huntley. I like it, man. And we were right about the Steelers the last 2 weeks, but I think it's time to jump off that train. I'm sure Joe Public will be riding that train. What Vegas is saying to me with this line, boys, maybe I'm misinterpreting, but what they're trying to say to us with this is Kenny Pickett's better than Huntley. I don't think so. I don't think so. Remember when Huntley played last year, pretty much every skill position was injured. He gets Mark Andrews. They seem to be getting a little bit healthier at wide receiver. This is going to be grind ball, man. And we know when Tomlin plays hardball, it's ugly, hide the kids. There's going to be a lot of smash mouth football. There's not going to be a lot of points. And in a game where we just don't get a lot of points, give me the Ravens with the plus 3. And I think the Ravens find a way to win this game. And I think people don't understand how decent Huntley was last year. I think he equals Pickett's play, maybe even plays better due to the scrambling ability. Ravens winning the cover, Steelers. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Every bet I make is on Patreon. $5 a month. Link in the description. Also, add your boy on Instagram. Lawson Bets NFL. Let's get this money. Next game, we're going down south. We got the Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys. Texans are plus 17. I know everyone's having fun with this one. Give me the Texans to cover, Dallas to win. I was against the Texans to cover the last 2 weeks when a lot of people were on them. I think they find a way. And I want to go to the psychology of this game. After the Cowboys kicked the Colts' ass on Sunday Night Football, I do think they go like 60%, 65% effort here. I don't think we're going to see more than 3/4 of Dak Prescott. This Houston team is beyond bad, but at least they stopped the run game of the Browns a little bit better. There isn't a lot of science here. I would not bet this game, but plus 17 is the biggest we've seen this year, right? I think the Steelers were plus 16 against the Bills, if I remember correctly. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. Chiefs are -9. I got the Broncos to cover, Chiefs to win. Chiefs just can't seem to cover a spread, man. And I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's because they don't play great defense. Maybe it's because they take the foot off the gas pedal. But we know what the Broncos do. They just keep covering spreads. They keep games low scoring. Their defense comes out and balls. And I think the Broncos keep it somewhat close here. I don't see a Chiefs blowout coming. But seriously, if you're a Chiefs believer, you should go opposite of me because the Chiefs need to show something. After that performance against the Bengals, I'm getting a lot of question marks. I'm not sure the Chiefs are even the third best team in the AFC at this point. I don't want to overreact, but they can't put a full game together. Broncos cover, Chiefs win. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. Browns are +6. Money, money, money. Money. Browns to cover is the money pick. I believe Bengals will win this, but Browns to cover is the money pick. And I know no one's going to like this. I know. We won with the Browns last week. We lost with the Bengals. This is a little bit of a grudge match. And I have nothing against the Bengals. Absolutely nothing against the Bengals. But I think the Browns will play good this week. And Deshaun was an absolute horror show against the Texans. There's no other way for us to phrase it. Browns defense played a little bit better against the Texans, but we can't count on that too much. But when you get in a divisional game, when you got two physical teams, I just think this is too many points. And I do think we're going to see a better version of Deshaun Watson this week. I do think we're going to see Nick Chubb getting it going. It is dangerous with the +6, but I'm sure Joe Public will be all over the Bengals. I already saw people putting in big Bengals tickets. I'm just going the other side, and I want a better coach game out of Stefanski. I think we get it. I think we get more play action, more Nick Chubb. And if the Browns defense can play average this game, they will definitely cover this. I'm not as high on the Bengals as everyone else. Maybe I will end up being just skimmed off the top like I was last year with the Bengals. I'm just not a big Bengals guy. Give me the Browns to cover. Bengals win. Browns in the money pit. Ski mask again. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is -3.5. I got Seattle to win in the cover. They should have covered against the Rams last week. I mean, they moved the ball up and down the field, yet they had stupid mistake after stupid mistake. It looks like Sam Darnold is going to start again for the Panthers. I think the Hawks get better quarterback play. And we know the Hawks have defensive issues. Let's be honest about it. It's one of the worst defenses in the NFL still. But the way to attack them is throw it. You have to work it down the field, play action, hit them deep. I just don't think Darnold and this Panthers offense is the offense to really test the Hawks defense. I really like the Hawks to win in a cover here. If it moves down to -3, if we lose this hook, I might be tempted to put in another bet with the Hawks. Hawks home field advantage should play a big factor here. Hawks win in the cover. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucs at the San Francisco 49ers. Bucs are +4. Money, money, money. Money. Bucs to cover. I got the Bucs to win in the cover. And I love Shanahan. And I just don't know what they can do with Brock Purdy. And this bet is on Jimmy G not playing. It looks like he won't play, but everyone proceed with caution here. You know, the Bucs, they can't win a game by more than 3 points, but when you get them with the +4, it means they don't have to. And I know how damn good this 49ers defense is. We saw them cook against Tua and a great Miami offense. We have to tip our fedora and we have to give the full credit. But this is just too many points when you have Brock Purdy as your starting quarterback. And I think it makes a difference, in this league. Mike White covered a spread, and everyone gets excited thinking the quarterback doesn't mean anything. I completely disagree. If you're giving me Brady against Brock Purdy, who you're riding with? Now, this Bucs offense has looked absolutely terrible, and I don't think that late game push against the Saints is going to be some sort of rejuvenation or some push in the back that they need to evolve. But I think the Bucs defense comes out, plays good football. The strength of the Bucs defense is their run defense. I believe they get off the field. This is going to be an ugly game. This has under written all over it. Bucs winning the cover with the upset, but the money pick is on Bucs +4. Next game, we're going to Monday night. We got the New England Patriots at the Arizona Cardinals. Patriots are -1. I'm going with the dark side. Patriots to win in the cover. Now, someone talked me out of this because I really like the Patriots this week. I'm not excited about Matt Patricia calling the offensive plays. That's obviously been a disaster, and I think it's making Matt Jones look bad, man. But when I look at this game, I just think which team is going to play mistake-free football? Which team is going to win the turnover battle? And man, give me the Patriots to win those battles. And I do get a little bit worried about Hopkins against this Patriots secondary. The Patriots secondary has been beaten down the last 3 weeks. But I do think the hoodie comes with a plan here. I do think he keeps Kyler Murray in the pocket. And when it comes down to it, when it's Monday Night Football, you give me hoodie or you give me Cliff Kingsbury. I'm going with the hoodie. Pats winning the cover on Monday Night Football. Last game of the week, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Chargers. Fins are -3. Money, money, money. Money. Fins to win in the cover. I'm sticking with it. I'm digging this trench. Make sure before you put in your bet, you check out the injury situation. For me to bet the Fins, I need Armstead to be playing. Now, let's get to the Chargers. They got absolutely bum rushed by the Raiders last week. We called it. A lot of you guys on the YouTube comment section agreed with me, so we called that one. I just think this Chargers defense is vanilla, and they're not physical enough. We can talk about Tua. We can talk about maybe Jalen Waddle being hurt. We could talk about Tyreek the Thrill Hill. But I think this game is one in the box, the big uglies. I think Miami's going to be able to run the ball against the Chargers. I haven't seen any signs of this Chargers run defense getting better. On the other side of the ball, this Chargers offensive line is an absolute combogulation, man. They're not in symbiosis. They're not winning physical battles. I mean, didn't we just see Chandler Jones get 2 sacks? Listen, it's not about Herbert. Herbert's absolutely marvelous, and he's a dog. But there's only so much you can do when your offensive line is losing battles. When Joe Lombardi is calling your plays of check down after check down. The check down doesn't work against Miami. You have to get it aerial against them, and you have to run the ball with force and physicality. I just don't think the Chargers are the team to do it. This is a really bad matchup for the Chargers. Like I said, if Armstead's out there for Tua at left tackle, I really like the Dolphins to come in here, get some revenge. They weren't good against San Francisco. Let's be completely honest about it. New week, Dolphins recover. Don't get over emotional about their showing against the 49ers. Dolphins winning the cover, make it a money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet, Patreon. $5 a month, you'll get every bet I make. Link in the description. Lawson, Bets NFL on Instagram. Add your boy. Let's get this money. I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.